Hi, you guys. Happy Tuesday. I have a really fun thing for us to do today. I first am going to start out with the same book, two different ways. Kind of crazy, right? But I have two books today about Hansel and Gretel. Have you guys heard that story about how they went into that house decorated with candy and there was a witch in there and the witch wanted to put them in the stove? So I thought it'd be fun to just read two stories, but how they're different, how the authors have made them so different. Um, both great stories. So you have to tell me which one you like best. We're going to start out with, I think it's more of a classic version, if you ask me, of Hansel and Gretel. And we're going to start out with this one, and it's by James Marshall. You can also read on some of the classic versions in the fables and nonfiction and fairy tales. There, they have all sorts of them, and you can kind of read that version. But this is a retell, so it's kind of one of those two that has been told over and over again. So maybe it's not the truth. I don't know. Maybe it is. Once upon a time, in a cottage near a vast forest, there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and two children. The boy was called Hansel, and the girl was Gretel. At the best of times, the family had precious little to live on, but now there was a great famine in the land, and food was scarcer than ever. The woodcutter's wife was worried there wouldn't be enough for her. "Those wretched children of yours are gobbling everything up," she said to her husband. "Do you want your pretty little life to waste away? Something will have to be done." "Yes, my dearest," said the poor woodcutter, who was afraid of his wife's furious temper. "She doesn't like us," said Gretel. "Yes, she does," said Hansel, but he didn't mean it. One night when the woodcutter was tossing and turning and worrying about how to feed his family, his wife revealed a plan. "Listen to this," she whispered in her husband's ear. "We will take the children into the woods, give them a bit of bread, and leave them there." "Never!" cried the woodcutter, but his wife badgered and badgered. "My poor children!" cried the woodcutter. "I know what's best, you dolt," said his wife. "Oh dear," whispered Gretel. "Don't worry," said Hansel. "I'll take care of us." And slipping out into the moonlight, he gathered up as many white pebbles as he could find. "What are you doing?" asked Gretel. "You'll see," said Hansel. "Up, you lazy bones!" cried the woodcutter's wife early the next morning. "It's time to go to the forest and fetch wood." She gave Hansel and Gretel a crust of bread. "Save it for lunch. It's all you get." The family set off. In a short while Hansel stopped and turned around. Soon he did it again. "Why are you lagging behind?" Hansel asked his father. "I'm looking back at my white kitten on the roof," said Hansel. "You donkey!" snapped the woodcutter's wife. "That's not your kitten. That's the morning sun on the chimney." They entered the vast forest. In the middle of the forest Hansel and Gretel were told to build a fire of brushwood and to wait. "We'll return soon," said the woodcutter's wife, and the children were left alone. They heard the sound of an axe chopping wood, and they thought their father must be nearby, but it was really a bow he had tied near a dead tree, being blown down by the wind. In midday they ate their bread and waited patiently. The afternoon slowly passed, but no one came. Finally the children closed their eyes and went to sleep. When they awoke it was pitch black. "Are you frightened?" asked Gretel. "Of course not," said Hansel. When the moon had risen, Hansel took Gretel by the hand and showed her how they could follow the trail of white pebbles. "What a clever brother I have," she said. It took them the rest of the night to get out of the forest. When the children arrived home at daybreak, the woodcutter's wife was shocked and infuriated, although she quickly pretended to be glad to see them. "We thought you were never coming back," she said. Hansel and Gretel believed the worst to be over, but soon there came another famine, and the woodcutter's wife began to fret. "There's hardly enough food for the two of us to eat," she said to her husband. "We'll simply have to take the children back to the woods." "Not again," whispered Gretel. Don't worry, said Hansel. But when he went to gather up more pebbles, he found the door bolted. She had seen to that. The next morning the children were given a bit of bread, and the family set off. Every few paces Hansel turned around to stew a handful of breadcrumbs behind him. Why are you tarrying, Hansel? Asked his father. I'm looking back at my white pigeon on the roof, said Hansel. Simpleton, cried the woodcutter's wife. That isn't your pigeon. That's the morning sun on the chimney. When they came to the most forbidden part of the forest, the woodcutter's wife said, You will wait here while your father and I gather wood. We will be back soon. Hansel and Gretel did not believe her. At midday, Gretel shared her bread with Hansel. As soon as they did before, they fell asleep, and when they awoke it was pitch black. Oh, said Gretel. When the moon rises, said Hansel, we will follow the trail of breadcrumbs out of the woods. But when the moon rose, they found no breadcrumbs. The birds in the forest had eaten them all. We'll never get out, cried Gretel. They wandered on deeper and deeper into the forest, eating whatever berries they could find. When they had been away from home for 3 days, a snow-white bird appeared. Let's follow it, said Hansel. The snow-white bird led them to a clearing. There was a small house made of cookies and candy, spun sugar and cake. It was like no house they'd ever seen. Being terribly hungry, the children set about having a regular feast. Hansel broke off a piece of the rough cake, and Gretel tried a bit of the window sugar. It was all as good as it looked. Suddenly they heard a shrill voice from inside. Nibble, nibble, little mousie, who's that nibbling on my housie? The door flew open. What's this? Said the lady, who Gretel was sure was a witch. Too tasty, pretty children have come to stay. Now don't be alarmed, my angels. I'm really very sweet. And she took Hansel and Gretel by the hand and led them inside, where a scrumptious dinner and sugar pancakes with apples and nuts had been prepared. Hansel and Gretel ate until they were perfectly stuffed. Time for sleep now, said the lady, and she tucked them into a snug, warm bed and tiptoed away. She's nice, said Hansel. Said Gretel. The next morning the lady, who was indeed a witch, snatched Hansel from his bed, carried him outside, and tossed him right into a cage. Lovely, said the witch, lovely. This is where I shall fatten you up, and when you're all plump and juicy, I shall have a regular feast. You let my brother out, cried Gretel. But the witch, who was delighted with her handiwork, only cackled and did a little dance. Poor Gretel, who had to do the witch's bidding, was put to work cooking enormous meals for Hansel. For her own dinner, Gretel was given only crab shells. Every morning the witch would go to Hansel's cage to see how much fatter he'd grown. Hansel, stick out your finger, she'd said, and Hansel would stick out an old chicken bone. Witches, as everyone knows, have beady red eyes and dreadfully bad eyesight. I simply don't understand it, said the witch. You're as thin as a bone. Can't eat you yet. Now Hansel's little trick worked for some time. Every morning the hungry witch was annoyed to find him so scrawny. Pooey, said the witch, not yet. But finally she had run completely out of patience. I'll just have to eat you as you are, she said. And as she was and she had a consoling thought. Perhaps she should eat the little one too. Gretel, dear, she said, would you please peek into the oven to see if it's sufficiently hot? But Gretel saw what she had in mind. I don't know how, she said stupidly. Goose, cried the witch, I'll show you. And she crawled partly into the oven. Really, there was only one thing for Gretel to do. She gave the witch a tremendous shove. The horrid witch roasted to a regular crisp. "We're free!" cried Gretel. "The witch is dead!" Hansel flew out of the cage like a bird. "What a clever little sister I have!" he cried. Together they explored the witch's house, where they found boxes and boxes of precious gems and gold coins. "Better than pebbles," said Hansel. But now it was time to leave the witch's woods. When they had wandered out for some time, they came to a wide lake. A kindly duck offered to ferry them across. As they neared the opposite shore, Gretel was sure they could see their father's house in the distance. When the children reached home, their father welcomed them with open arms, for he loved them dearly. He had been miserable without them. He told them his wife had died. Whether Hansel and Gretel were sorry is difficult to say, but with their father they lived happily ever after. What do you guys think of that one, huh? Kind of, like I said, this is kind of the classic story of how the witch got shoved into the oven and then they ate on the house. How would you like your house made of candy? Would you get sick of it? You might have to have like some bacon or um, lamb chop lollipops or something fun like that too. So you have a little bit of everything, right? Well, okay, we're going to read one more, and I want to know what you guys think about this one. This one, we've read some other ones kind of like this one with the other side of the story, and they're my favorite. So I have this one, and I thought it was just perfect. It's Not Hansel and Gretel, and this is written by one of my favorites, Josh Funk, and it's illustrated by Edwardian Taylor. Guys, Josh Funk is an amazing author. I don't know how he does it, but he does it, and they are so, so good. Once upon a time, Hansel and Gretel lived with their mama and papa on the outskirts of the woods. Hansel? Gretel? Where are you? Shh! We're playing hide and seek with cousin Jack. Jack? From Jack and the Beanstalk? Get out of here! This isn't your story. Whatever. It was the time of great famine, and there wasn't enough food. Hansel and Gretel's parents hatched an evil plan to get rid of their children. Gretel, should we be worried? Nah, our parents love us. No, children, you should be worried. That afternoon, Papa took children deep into the forest. Should we be worried now? No, Hansel, this is just our regular Thursday afternoon walk. Yes, your parents want to get rid of you. When the sky grew dark, Papa ran off without a word. Hansel and Gretel grew cold and hungry. Gretel, I'm cold and hungry. Don't fret, Hansel. I'm sure Papa will be right back with blankets and food. You're right. Our parents love us. Oh, brother. Luckily, Hansel had left a trail of breadcrumbs leading back home. Breadcrumbs? I didn't bring any breadcrumbs. What kind of person saves breadcrumbs? It's a time of great famine. If there are breadcrumbs left, we're going to eat them. Okay, forget the breadcrumbs. Now I'm hungry. Why'd you have to bring up breadcrumbs? The next morning, Hansel and Gretel were completely lost. They began searching for a way back home, but couldn't. Look, there's our house. What? Yay, we found it! No, you can't find it. That's not how the story goes. Excuse me, but we've lived on the outskirts of these woods our whole lives. I think we know our way around. Mama, Papa, we're home. Gretel, where are Mama and Papa? Maybe Papa got lost on his way home to get blankets and food. He does have a terrible sense of direction. No, he didn't get lost. But where's Mama? She's not in her workshop. She's probably out searching for us. She is not searching for you. It was their evil plot to get rid of you. Wah, wah. Look what you did. You made Hansel cry. I didn't mean to do that. Don't worry, Hansel. We can find Mama and Papa ourselves. Okay. Wait, you can't leave without me. I'm the one telling the story. Hansel and Gretel trekked deeper and deeper into the... Excuse me, but why is it always Hansel and Gretel? Oh, what do you mean? Why isn't it Gretel and Hansel? That's just how it's always been. Just because it's always been that way doesn't make it right. Plus, alphabetically, Gretel comes first. Okay, how's that? Gretel and Hansel trekked deeper and deeper into the woods. Much better. Until they came upon a gingerbread, a super tasty cookie house. No, it's a gingerbread house. And outside of the house stood, oh, look, a sweet lady. Would you two stop interrupting me? Come inside from the cold, little dearies. I can put you in my oven and warm you up. No, you offer them some food. Oh, but it's so cold. I could use a little oven time. No oven time! The old lady was really a witch who liked to eat children. Don't be silly. She's a sweet old lady. I promise you, she's a witch. I don't really have any magical powers, so I'm not exactly a witch. See, I told you she's not a witch. Why won't you children believe anything I tell you? Stop yelling. Do you want to make Hansel cry again? The witch, who was not sweet old lady, locked Hansel in a cage and forced him to eat candy and treats to fatten him up. Yay, candy! I want to be put in a candy cage. Can I go in the candy cage? No, you can't. Gretel was forced to do chores around the house. This is ridiculous. The boy gets to sit around and eat candy while the girl has to cook and clean. Get with the times. This is the 15th century. Fine. Hansel and Gretel. Gretel and Hansel were locked in a cage and forced to eat candy. But who's going to clean my toilet? The witch could see it would be weeks before the children became fat and puffy enough to eat. So, he looks puffy enough to me. Puffy? Oh no. Was that strawberry shortcake? Hansel's allergic to strawberries. That is not part of the story. He is not allergic to strawberries. Excuse me, Dr. Storyteller, but food allergies are not a joke. They can be very serious. Luckily, Hansel is only mildly allergic to strawberries. I'd better start the oven. No, it's too soon in the story. Even though there was far too soon, the witch prepared the oven. I think I'm okay. Double, toil and trouble. I can hear you over there, over that noisy oven. Did you say toilet trouble? I thought you didn't want to do chores, Gretel. I don't, but who can say no to such a nice old lady? She's a witch, I promise. If I borrow some beans from the giant, I can make a little boy chilly. Oh, are you chilly? You need some oven time. Here, I'll help you. Ah! Gretel, I found this book. 50 recipes for cooking children. You know, something tells me that she wasn't such a nice lady after all. Yes, that's me. I was telling you that. You need to get no need to get your undies in a twist. If you two won't listen to me, you might as well tell the story yourselves. Oh, can we do that? Let's try it. Wait, I didn't mean. Hansel grew a mustache. I've always wanted a mustache. Me too. I want a mustache. This is ridiculous. Gretel grew a mustache too. Now you try. Gretel and Hansel met a unicorn named Fluffy Bottom. Oh, come on, a unicorn! Next, you're going to tell me that Fluffy Bottom flew you home to your parents and you lived happily ever after. Unicorns can fly. Everyone knows that. Oh, look, Gretel. It's Mama and Papa. I am so sorry, children. I got lost on the way home to get blankets and food. You know I have a terrible sense of direction. What? No! You had an evil plot. And I built this flying contraption to go searching for you. That's exactly what I thought. It's all wrong. You know, if you take out the child ingredient, these recipes aren't half bad. Maybe we could live here and open a bakery. Yes, let's do it. And they all lived happily ever after. He said, and we all lived ever after. I suppose you want me to say the end? Thank you. No, wait, I didn't mean say the end. You only need to say it once. Next, we'd like to buy something for our grandmother. The end. What do you guys think? Which one was your favorite? 1 or 2? Well, you let me know. Now we are going to do a tasty art project. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, that was an awesome story, wasn't it? Because really, it would be super cool to live in a house made of candy and marshmallows and chocolate and chocolate-covered strawberries and sprinkles. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the book made me hungry. So we're gonna paint today. I don't know if you know this, but this isn't paint. And we're not using a paintbrush. We're using our hands. We are going to paint with pudding. It is so much fun and it is so easy to do. I went to the store and I just got some pudding. I actually got some different flavors and you're gonna want some different flavors because we're using our fingers. So not only are you gonna paint, but I'm sure there'll be some taste testing along the way. I just got some vanilla white chocolate. Hello, game changer in the pudding world if you ask me. And some chocolate and vanilla. And then I just wanted to show you how we make it. So I have a pistachio pudding. I don't even know. I've never had it. So I thought, why not, right? Let's give it a try. So super easy. I already made these because they do take a couple minutes just to make. So, but it's so easy. So we just open it up, get your little packet here, pour it into a bowl. Oh, check it out. It's even green, you guys. Yay. So fun. Then all you need is 2 cups of cold milk. I'm using 2%, so just 2 cups of that. All right. And seriously, now we just take a whisk and we'll whisk it for about 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, it does take a couple more minutes just to set up because you can see you want it a little bit firm. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, 2 minutes is up. So now it's still a little runny. So we're gonna let it set for just another couple minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, you guys, we had time for it to set. Now look at, see how it has set up. Pudding is super cool. Like when you mix it, it's like all watery and then voila! So I've never had pistachio pudding, so I'm gonna try it. Okay, I'm a little nervous. It is green. It kind of looks like green, like booger slime. Okay, ready? Oh, that's really good. It's really sweet. Is all pistachio stuff sweet? You guys like pistachio stuff? I don't know. Very good, very, very good. My favorite chocolate. Oh, yes. And you'll see how well that's set up. You can even see my spoon in there. And then I have, like I said, white chocolate. Big spoon. That one is so good. And vanilla. Super vanilla-y. So good. Now, this is obviously white, right? White on white paper, not gonna work. So you can get out your handy dandy colors and you could make this any color you want. What I would suggest getting bowls and putting it in different bowls. But this is how easy it is. Finger. I washed my hands when we were waiting for this all. Put it in. I got my white paper. And now I'm gonna make a sunshine because I want it to be sunny today. Oh, I should have used the vanilla for that because, well, okay, I will. And I'll add some yellow. Oh, now what color? Green for the grass. Grass. Do, 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 do. This is the best art project. I'll add some more. Oh, you're hungry? Snack time. See? The best project ever. So you guys, I'm going to keep working on this. And by working on this, I mean probably just going to eat some more. Better get some pistachio too. Oh, so good. So you'll see that's kind of what is starting to take shape. So you can make anything you want. You can make a house, a butterfly, or you can fill your tummy. It's a great project for all. I hope you guys enjoyed it.